Alright, about the only thing I don't have covered is my face is cold. Nothing else is cold, really. Come on, let's go. We gotta go feed those fish and check on the dome. You coming? Come on, you come with me. I don't want you out in this. Everything looks good so far. Thank God the sun's out. Seriously. Ooh. Come on. All right, buddy. You're beating me today. You're beating me to that dome, aren't you? Oh man, my tripod's shaky and I'm not stopping to fix it. It's too cold. Sorry, guys. All right, this is the perfect shot right here. Hat hair and all. Hat hair doesn't look bad when you've got a beautiful mandevilla blooming and growing and thriving in a garden space of your own when it's 5 degrees outside. I'll tell you what, I am half tempted to stay out here overnight just because it'd be an interesting experience, but I'm looking forward to Pizza Friday and movies and things like that indoors. And I am 99.5% sure everything is going to be just fine out here, because we've done what we could do, and I've been through this so many times. It's my 10th winter in here. I'm not saying, knock on wood, that nothing could happen, because it could happen. It just, things happen, right? But I can honestly say we've done all that we could do to keep it perfect in here. And look at this. I've got a pretty cool looking succulent right here that is getting ready to bloom. It's a little stretchy. It's not supposed to be so lanky, this variety. It's one of those Cactus Jack, I think it's called. I'm not sure. I'll put the name right down here. It got really lanky, but it's because I had it on a lower shelf and it was getting shade, so I moved it here and now it's going to bloom, and that'd be a treat, so stay tuned. All right, I got a little bit of hat hair going on, but I wanted to take it off just to let you know that it actually is very comfortable in here. It's really nice. Really, really nice. The sun's been out pretty much all afternoon, thankfully, and things look great in here. I've got these giant barrels in here that I fill with water, just checking them, make sure they're full. They're kind of warm. They're not super warm, but they're warm, and all that kind of stuff just holds the heat in as long as it can, really. And all that little bit helps with keeping your costs down in a space like that. But the majority of the time, once you have it set up, you're gonna spend enjoying the plants and just doing what you enjoy most with. I have a chair in here. If you want to sit and lounge, you can do that, which I don't do a whole lot of that, except when I'm transplanting seeds in the next, boy, that's like in 2 months, roughly, month and a half, really. That's another project this weekend with the cold we have. I'm going to actually be starting some seeds, and so I just wanted to give an update of what it's like in here right now, and there it is. I'm really enjoying these primrose I have growing in the dome this year. They're right here. I'll pan over to them so you can see how pretty they are. They're just so pretty. I love the creamy white one. It's just really pretty. And the cool thing is I have a bunch of these that are out in my landscape, so hopefully I'll be able to see another bloom from the other plants in my hardiness zone's normal spring. Right now I'm kind of in early spring in the dome here, and that's why things are blooming like that, and we're starting to get new growth on the plants and things like that. And so that's what's going on with that. All right, so what I wanted to do really quick is, this is a good time to be organizing your seeds, getting ready, making lists, looking online, different seed companies you trust, things like that, and just kind of getting an idea of what you want to plant in containers or out in your landscape and things like that, because you really need to get those ordered. If you're doing indoor seed sowing, it's getting to be about that time for certain things like peppers, and my schedule is all crazy because I actually start things a little earlier than you normally would in my hardiness zone, and then I just bring them out here and they get bigger and I can prune them and things like that. That's all the fun things you can do with a greenhouse or dome. But with that in mind, yesterday I was out, we were out getting a few things for the cold blast that's coming through, just making sure we have stuff and getting our last. We actually went out to eat because we figured we're going to be stuck in the house for a couple of weeks or a week just because it's going to be cold and things we have to do. Actually, I was at Menards and they may still have it going on. They have this really cool discount where you can fill a brown bag with whatever you can fill it with. You get 15% off in addition to the already price that's really low, especially on seeds. I see a lady looking through this seed company rack that I love. They've got these super cheap seeds at Menards. I've seen displays like this at other places. I'm not going to mention where they were, and I actually had bought a few of the same variety from that other company at these other stores, and they didn't do nearly as well as these ones that I picked up at Menards. I don't have to buy so many of them now just because the ones that I got are heirloom, and I've been able to dry this, save the seed for the next year, which I've done for a couple of these. I'm going to do a shout out for 3 of the seed packs that I actually recommended to this lady I started talking to. I saw her looking at some squash plants, and I'm not really good at growing squash except for zucchini, things like that, different zucchinis. The squash just never does well for me, and pumpkins, I just really have a hard time with them. And so anyways, I just started talking to her. I figured when I talk to people, they're gonna look at me like, man, she's crazy, or we actually get a good conversation, and we did. It was really fun. And she has chickens, and she was just giving me some tips on chickens and how her telling fun little stories about what her chickens do wrong and how they eat everything. It's not caladium, it's calendar. Here, this flower was amazing, a beautiful plant. I had it growing in my herbs, and I just can't say enough about it. I did direct sow, maybe late May, and those plants, they look best in a mass planting. I had blooms on that specific plant all the way through. It passed a hard frost. It still looked pretty green, and it still had buds that opened, and they did end up opening until we finally got hit really good, like in late November. I did take a couple and put them in containers in my unheated greenhouse just to see what they would do, and lo and behold, they're still green. They still, through all this, and they're still green in there. So I don't think they're supposed to do that, but what a great seed. And the seed does come back true because we had such a weird summer last year. I actually took some of the flowers and dried them and restarted them in another container, another raised bed outside, same conditions as the first batch I did, and they came up too, and we're blooming the same color, more yellows than orange, but a few were orange, and they're just beautiful. And I'm looking forward to growing them this next year from the seed I have, and I did end up buying a couple more packages of those. So that's my #1 top flower from last year, and it's also, I believe it is an herb, or it's in the daisy family. I'm not sure, something like that. But I just really enjoyed it, and I want to recommend that one to you. And the brand I bought was from Menards. They're cheap. You get like, I don't know, there's 20 or 30 seeds in there, and it's like, it comes down to like 29 cents for the pack, which is amazing. So there you go. That's shout out. And I did a blog post on that last year, and I'll put the link here if you want to check it out. And there it is. All right, so next up on my seed recommendation is this. And I've grown these marigolds now, goodness, it's been, I think 3 years now. I just keep saving the seeds, and every year I have more. It gets really tall, and it loves poor conditions. Right after you get it, you got to get them established, get the seeds going, and make sure they're up really good. But once that heat starts kicking in and the sun's on them, they do awesome, and they turn into like a bush almost, literally like 2.5, 3 feet, maybe 3 feet tall, some of them. And it's got a really long bloom season on that as well. And I'll put the name and everything just right here. It's a marigold, and it's an heirloom, so it comes back. That was the other one I recommend. They have that in that seed rack. But I didn't buy any of those just because I have a million of those seeds. You grow one of those heirloom varieties of especially a marigold, and you will end up with thousands of potential plants you can have if you save those seeds, and it's super easy to do. I feel like I did a video on that. If I did, I'll put the link in the blog post here or down in the description, just if you're curious. It's super easy to do. And so that was my second choice. And those two are flowers. They're both beneficial for your garden because they're pollinator friendly, and they're heirlooms. You can't beat that. They're low maintenance. They love drought, cold or warm, dry conditions. Keep in mind I'm in hardiness zone 5B6. So yeah, that's how those go. Now my other recommendation, the third one that I saw in that seed rack, and I did do a blog post on this. I've grown this variety 2 years. This will be my third because I'm going to grow them again. Last year I tried a new one in with it, and I really like this one better. I think it's called White Spine. I'll put the name right here, and I have a blog post, like I said, so there's a link. These were amazing cucumbers. We had cucumbers all the way from late May till they kind of died back a little bit when it got really hot, like in July, after 4th of July. And then back again, they came back with vengeance in it was probably September. So I had a whole nother harvest of cucumbers, which, did I call them pickles? I always call my cucumber plants pickles because that's a lot of what I do with them. But I love them in salads and just eating them straight. And I make a really good dill dip this time of year. I wish I had fresh cucumbers right now. Wouldn't that be cool? Those would not do well, and this is just still too cool. But in another month or so, definitely. I'm watching Buddy because he's thinking about jumping up on my lap. That means it's about time to go in, huh, Mom? All right, so those were my 3 recommendations for seeds. Easy to grow, foolproof. You can do this. Hey, Buddy. You wanted to be in the video again, didn't you? You're like my little helper lately. You are very dirty. Oh, no, I'm very dirty. You are very dirty. You have fun in here, don't you? It's time for us to walk back to the house. We're going to go back inside, huh? Yeah, you are just one lucky kitty. We're going to walk back into the house and stay warm. All right, well, thanks for checking out my video. If you are on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. It's not a huge channel, but I share all my content from there onto my website at, you know where to find me, brenhaas.com. And until next time, you guys stay warm. All right, well, thanks for checking out my video. If you are on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. It's not a huge channel, but I share all my content from there onto my website at, you know where to find me, brenhaas.com. And until next time, you guys stay warm, stay safe, stay indoors. We'll make it through this. It's a quick winter blast. It's winter, and so many great things to look forward to as the sun gets closer, spring gets closer, and so many fun things to grow.
Don't forget to subscribe, show some love by liking Bren's video and hit the notification button for future updates.